Okay, boxing fans, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. Glad you could join me at this time of the evening. Apologies for not being able to do this video sooner. Lots of things have been going on. Anyway, let's get into this for a moment. What the hell is this? Let's get into this for a moment. Let's talk about Parker versus Wardley. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, do smash the subscribe button. If you are subscribed to the channel, please go back and check and see if you are subscribed, because YouTube has a funny way of unsubscribing people. And when you are subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell to all to ensure that you are getting all the latest videos. So let's go. Parker versus Wardley. The moment this fight was announced, I was like, Josie Parker, experienced, been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt. He's won fights, he's lost fights, he's been stopped, he's stopped. He's known what it's like to be a champion. He's known what it's like to lose a belt. He's known what it's like when he hasn't given his best and his all. He knows what it's like not to have the best trainer in his corner. He knows what it's like the benefits of having a great trainer in his corner. He knows what it's like to not come in at the optimum weight. He knows what it's like to win in a big fight. He knows what it's like to lose in a big fight. Parker's got all the experiences right there. And I think I said a long time ago to you, dedicated to BWTM online or BWTM sports fans, I said that Parker was my pick to one day to go on to become undisputed, because I thought, well, he's got all the attributes. He's got a good chin, good engine, good power, can box, can fight on the inside, can fight on the outside, can fight against different opponents, has got good footwork. I think Parker has what it takes to be undisputed. I said that a while ago. I said he was my pick to go on to be undisputed. And that was before he had Andy Lee in his corner. Now, we're not too far from that undisputed point, right? All he has to do is get in the ring and fight Usyk. And it depends on when he fights Usyk. Now, he's got to get past Fabio Wardley first, which is, if I'm honest with you, I swear down being honest, Parker should make this fight very easy. He should. Here's my point. People go, nah. If you look at Fabio Wardley's fights, all of his fights, and I remember when Fordy was fighting a long time ago, he's fought against Molina. I said, this guy's going to be dangerous. He's going to be the British version of Deontay Wilder. I saw comparisons between him and Big Baby Anderson, right? I say, these guys, when they get hit on the chin, they seem to wake up and they start punch very hard. But Anderson, you see, he was flawed, and it just took a guy like Bacola to get in there and expose the fact he was flawed. I hear Wardley saying things like, well, I only need one good punch in 36 minutes to win a fight. That's true. Deontay Wilder said the same thing too. But you saw how that actually worked out for him when he got into upper echelons of boxing. And yeah, you could say those who are subjectively have their opinions on the three fights between Wilder and Fury. Wilder's right in some point because he caught Fury the punch and knocked him down, and there's always going to be dispute about that count, but he only needs an opportunity and he'll knock you out. See, but people forget that Wilder was an Olympian. Yeah, for all Wilder was, he was an Olympian. Wardley hasn't had that experience, and he's very much been learning on the job. And whilst I'm a big fan of Fabio Wardley, if you go back to the Justin Hooney fight, he left himself very much. He's not defensively responsible. Wardley would duck his head in positions. I tell you who Ward reminds me of at times. If you watch Billy Joe Saunders, the way he ducked his head, right? He ducks his head open for an uppercut, much like the way Billy Joe Saunders did. And much like that, Saunders got away with it until he fought somebody who's technically able to counter punch and to create opportunities where Saunders with Canelo was Saunders would put himself in positions where Canelo was able to counter. In fact, that was one of the reasons why Saunders' eye got busted up, because he ducked into a punch. So coming back to Fabio Wardley, why I say this fight could be very simple for Parker is this: Wardley, when he's hurt, is dangerous, and usually when he fights, what ends up happening is people go towards Wardley when he's hurt, so they hit him with a good shot and then walk into him, and then he unloads his punches. Right? He goes in what I say, the Incredible Hulk mode, which he just hulks out and starts throwing punches quite wild. And when you see Wardley throwing his shots, yes, he's knocking people out, but he leaves himself in some very precarious positions. He leaves his chin in the air at times, his head's over his front foot. He leaves himself in positions where a technically good boxer or a counter puncher spells trouble for him, and he puts himself in a position of two ways. He puts himself into a position where he can run into shots. You see Wardley when he's fighting the Huni fight, where he's getting punched. Hooley's actually laying punches on Wardley, and Wardley's turning his head away. When he gets hit with shots, he's not blocking shots with his hand now. He's defensive blocking shots. He's taking shots on his chin. And that's Justice Hooney. I mean, Parker hits a lot harder with a lot more bad intent than Hooney, okay? And he's getting his face busted up by people like Fraser Clark. His face has been busted in the Hooney fight, so he's able to get hit and hit numerous times. You cannot take those punches and leave yourself in that kind of a position against a guy like Parker. Now, Parker, remember, is traditionally a counter puncher. That's him by type. And by type, Parker's the kind of guy that if he gets hit with a big shot and he knows you can hurt him, he tends to go into a shell. If that's Parker of old, he tends to go into a shell and pick his moments to land a good shot again. And Parker's been down in his fights. He was down against Zhang. Who else did he go down against? He was down against Joyce. So he's been down in fights, but he's also been able to get up and win fights. My concern is Andy Lee is a great trainer, and he's come from the school of Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart, Uncle Bashir, the Kronk Gym, right? And he would have given Parker a blueprint as how to beat Wardley. I've always said this, and if you look at all my boxing videos, right, I always say this: fighters fight in patterns. Yeah, good fighters fight in patterns, means they do the same things over and over and over again. The great ones are able to make adjustments in a crisis. Yeah, the great fighters can make adjustments in crisis. But for the majority of fighters, they fight the same way over and over and over again. And a lot of these guys, it's like Russian roulette. They're like, well, I didn't get beat, so I don't have to change anything. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? That would be the mindset or the thinking behind it. But for me, I'm thinking, no, it might not be broken, but it's going to break soon. So you got to make adjustments. You need to work on having a defense. You need to learn what you're going to do when you get backed up against the ropes. So this is why I think Parker fight makes this fight easy. Instead of Parker going to Wardley, he needs to draw the feint. He needs to be doubling his jab up, stepping back and waiting for Wardley to come to him. And this in the sense that Wardley comes into him, Wardley walks onto shots. So Parker's got to set the traps for Wardley. And I've been 95% right in press conferences, right? In the sense of reading body language. Parker's ready to go. Parker really believes he's going to win this fight and win it early, because there's too many holes in Wardley's defense. And at the moment, the guys he's fought have not been good enough to take advantage of the openings that Wardley has left open, right? So it's not about, well, all I need is one punch. Yeah, he does only need one punch, but the way he fights, he could also get knocked out by one shot. Like you're playing the percentage game here, and Wardley gives you many opportunities to get him knocked out, to knock him to get knocked out. He can walk onto shots. He can mainly walk onto. He can get counted. He's open to right hands over the top. So, for me, this is Parker's fight to lose. It's Parker's fight to lose, because to me, he could stop Wardley inside 4 rounds because he makes so many technical mistakes, errors. On the flip side of this, for Wardley, his mentality is, well, Parker was down against Zhang, and if Zhang can knock him down, I'm faster, and I think I hit harder than Zhang. And if Joe Joyce can knock you out, and he can hit with them big shots, then I only need one of those big shots to hit you because I'm faster than Joyce. I hit harder than Joyce, and my hand, I'm probably more of an athlete than Joe Joyce. So that's where we're way of thinking. Parker's there to be hit, and Parker can get knocked out. But I, no disrespect to Wardley and his team, I still have question marks about his trainer, Ben Davison. Big question marks about him. He was getting thoroughly outboxed by Justice Hooney, thoroughly outboxed, and Hooney has a habit. If you watch his fights, even the fight that he won before the Wardley fight, I say fight is fighting patterns. He was running out of steam. If you listen to the last round, Hooney was like, he was exhausted going back to the corner. Yes, Wardley knocked him out, but that's because Hooney lost concentration because he was exhausted. He didn't get a full camp. I'm not making excuses. It is what it is, but it's something I picked up there. And I don't think Wardley would have beaten Miller, to be honest. I really don't. And Parker, if he's serious about beating Usyk, he needs to get rid of Wardley, and he needs to get it done emphatically. For me, he's got to get it done emphatically. He cannot afford, in my opinion, to be messing around with Wardley. He needs to get him out of there quick, fast, in a hurry. And for me, he needs to stop him inside the distance. Needs to stop him inside the distance. He doesn't want to be going into a war with Wardley. There's too many holes in Wardley's defence for him to go 12 rounds with Parker, as far as I'm concerned, unless Parker gets hit with something early and he goes into his shell. So my prediction is Parker inside 5. Parker inside 5, and that's going to come from Wardley trying to overextend himself or get hit with a shot and try to come rushing in. And that's where Parker's going to end him, I think. It'll be a mistake from Wardley, and Parker's going to capitalise on it, because I think that Andy Lee and Parker had worked on a strategy to let Wardley throw shots and be there to meet him and counter him hard. That's what I think is going to happen. So I would not be surprised to see a Wardley get knocked out of one shot, honestly. Either a shot he doesn't see coming, or a shot that is made up of him trying to throw punches back in an exchange and getting caught over the top of a shot. I can see it. I can see him getting knocked out of one shot clean, honestly. A clean flush shot, boom. Much like the Bacoli punch. As I see him getting there with that shot. As for Parker, if he boxes clean, uses his jab, right, and he doesn't get greedy, and he throws a jab, I think double up the jab, step back, wait for Wardley for a shot, and then catch him over the top. Those are the shots I see him, and know where Wardley's going to put his head. So I see that being the keys to victory for Parker. For Wardley, he's got to stay tight. He really has got to stay tight. So that's my thoughts. I think Parker within 5, better boxing ability, better jab, better boxing fundamentals, experienced, and Parker could win this fight by points or by knockout. I think Wardley's got to win this fight by knockout. He can do it, and if he does knock Parker out, Parker's got to ask himself some serious questions. Seriously, he's got to ask himself some serious questions. So I think this is a night where Parker puts it together and gets Wardley out of there. But this is boxing and it's heavyweight boxing. Yeah. But from his body language, Parker looks ready to go. I mean, like, if you watch him in that press conference, it looked like he was ready to, I don't think I've seen a Parker press conference where I've seen him ready to go like that. He looked like he was like, I'm fed up of all these questions. I'm fed up of all these having to ask the same question over and over and over again. I'm fed up of listening to Fabio Wardley. I'm fed up. Fed up, fed up, fed up. I'm a better fighter than this guy. I'm better than him. I've got a proven track record that I'm better than this guy. So let's get it on. Let's get it done. No more talking. Let's get to this. So yeah. Yeah, just my thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments. Who do you think is going to win the fight and why? And if you think Wardley's going to win the fight, why do you think Wardley's going to win the fight? And if you think Parker's going to win the fight, yeah, explain as well why you think they're going to win the fight. Be interested to see what you say in the comment section. Thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in to BWTM Sports Gaming. I'm out. Have a good night and enjoy the fight.